My stepfather built a multi-million-dollar tech empire using my dead father's ideas. While refusing to adopt me, I spent 3 years secretly sabotaging his company from the inside until he lost everything. When I was 8 years old, my father died in a motorcycle accident. He was a brilliant software engineer who had been working on some revolutionary cybersecurity protocols in his spare time. Nothing was patented yet, just notebooks full of code and concepts that were way ahead of their time. Mom remarried when I was 10 to this guy Marcus, who also worked in tech. At first, Marcus seemed okay. He was decent to me, helped with homework, came to a few school events. My little brother Tyler was 6 when Marcus came into our lives, and my sister Chloe was 4. They barely remembered our real dad, but I remembered everything. The late nights he spent coding, the excitement in his voice when he'd explain his projects to me, the plans he had for starting his own security company someday. Marcus officially adopted Tyler and Chloe when I was 12, changed their last names to his, the whole deal. When I asked Mom why I wasn't included in the adoption, she gave me some bullshit about how I was old enough to decide for myself, and that Marcus wanted to respect my connection to my biological father. The truth came out years later. Marcus didn't want to adopt me because I reminded him too much of my dad. I looked exactly like him, had his same intense focus on computers, asked too many questions about the coding projects Marcus had suddenly started working on after marrying Mom. See, Marcus had found my dad's notebooks. Mom had shown them to him, thinking he might want to help preserve dad's work as some kind of memorial. Instead, Marcus saw $signs. Those cybersecurity protocols my dad had been developing, Marcus quietly turned them into the foundation of his new company. By the time I was 16, Marcus had built a multi-million-dollar cybersecurity firm called Secure Core Solutions. He was the brilliant CEO who had revolutionized enterprise security. Tech magazines were calling him a visionary. He moved us into a mansion, bought luxury cars, started traveling to conferences around the world. My siblings worshipped him. Tyler wanted to follow in his footsteps and study business. Chloe was the apple of his eye, the daughter he'd always wanted. At family dinners, Marcus would talk about grooming Tyler to eventually take over the company, about setting up trust funds for his children's futures. His children, not me, never me. I was the outsider in my own family, the kid who still had his dead father's last name while everyone else was a real member of the family. Marcus made sure I understood the difference in subtle ways. Tyler and Chloe got the latest phones, laptops, gaming systems. I got hand-me-downs and birthday gifts that were clearly afterthoughts. When Tyler struggled with math, Marcus hired expensive tutors. When I showed natural talent for programming and asked about computer science camps, Marcus said they were too expensive and I should look into scholarships. Meanwhile, Chloe was taking horseback riding lessons that cost more than most people's rent. The worst part was watching Marcus take credit for ideas that I recognized from my dad's old notebooks. During his big keynote speeches about innovation in cybersecurity, he'd describe concepts that my father had explained to me years earlier. He'd written books, given TED Talks, built an entire reputation on my dead father's work. Nobody knew except me. Mom either didn't remember the details of Dad's projects or chose not to see the similarities.
Full story link below.